Hey guys, M2 Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends series, the X-Men Nemesis Build-A-Figure wave. Here we have the XFactor version of Cyclops. So we get some new stuff going on here, mainly new Optic Blast stuff. Other than that, it's kind of the same thing. The head sculpts might be new. That one's probably not new. This one is probably new. I'm going to have to double check that and we'll kind of go and see. But here we have the Nemesis Build-A-Figure wave. Very excited for this. I got my set from toysnowman.com. Link in the video description below if you're looking to pick up some of these. As of the time of this recording, the only ones that are currently available are going to be like the Wolverine is actually in stock right now. Cyclops is available to pre-order, Nightcrawler is available to pre-order, and Husk is available to pre-order. The other figures are unfortunately sold out at the moment, but Wolverine is in stock. Cyclops you can pre-order, so make sure to check out toysnowman.com. Link in the video description below. It is my referral link. If you use that link and create an account for the first time, so new accounts only, you get a 5% off coupon code, so make sure to check out toysnowman.com. But here we have Cyclops there. We got a similar looking Cyclops from XFactor before, as you can see here. It's the blue and white versus the blue and yellow, but that's what we got now. We are going to get a Jean Grey Marvel Girl version to kind of match this Cyclops a little later this year. Believe that one's going to be on a retro card, and I think it's going to be a Target exclusive. I could be wrong on that, but I think that's what's happening. We got the Nemesis Build-A-Figure logo up there. Here we have Cyclops. We get that artwork of Cyclops there. We get this artwork of Cyclops there. So that is two different artworks, that one and that one. And this here is the same as that one. So he gets two different artworks instead of three as like some of the other, like Gambit, Nightcrawler. Nope, I can't remember. Nightcrawler, I think, had two. Wolverine had three. It's just this thing, not a big deal. Here we have the entire wave. We're taking a look at each one in order. So we looked at Wolverine. We checked out Nightcrawler. We looked at Gambit. We are on to Cyclops. Next up will be Marrow. And I'm doing these videos 12 hours apart. So essentially like 2 videos a day. You'll get one at midnight, then you'll get one at noon each day until the wave is done. So here, the Cyclops, the bio reads, a leader of the X-Men, Cyclops becomes a founder of a new team called XFactor after being reunited with Jean Grey. So again, we're going to get that Jean Grey later this year. So there is Cyclops. Let's go ahead and take him out of the box and let's take a look. Oh, and just FYI, this thing's kind of packaged all crazy because like the arm for Nemesis is kind of crazy with that hose there. So the Optic blasts are in the back, and then the Build-A-Figure part is in the back too. Okay, so here is the Cyclops figure. Oh, and it's a good one. It is a good one. Cyclops being on the Vulcan body just feels so right. We got it a couple of, well, the Astonishing X-Men Cyclops was not technically Vulcan body, as it was kind of a unique sculpt, but it was similar in some regard. Anyway, X-Men 97 is basically built upon the the Vulcan body base with some differences, right? The bands are keyed into the legs, and obviously his torso is different because he's got that that harness on there, so it's a little bit different, but the Vulcan body for Cyclops really does feel right. So there we have it, and this new Optic Blast effect, just how cool is that? Now there's no way he's going to be able to stand on his own, by the way. I have something like holding his foot in place because otherwise that will not work. As you can see, that it just kind of sticks out so far on there, but it is really cool. So you could use this up against any kind of enemy or anything like that, which I don't have an enemy at the moment that we could use, but like, you know, just think about blasting off. I will show it when I do the Nemesis Build-A-Figure to kind of have that going, which, you know, I think will make sense there. But just, it's really cool. Now, the Optic Blast may work with other Cyclops figures. I will check that out. I will see the old Optic Blast, if that works with this Cyclops figure, and we'll kind of get into that. We get 2 head sculpts with Cyclops, so we got one where the Optic Blast can plug into the face. This one does not. This is more just kind of regular. He's got a little bit of a grin. Again, I need to double check if this one has been reused. We get a couple of hands, so he's got fists already on the figure, and then you got open hand, and then you got the 2-finger hand, which he could use to adjust the visor, which he doesn't really need to do. And then we get the arm, one of the arms. I think this is the right arm, left arm. I'm not sure which arm this is, but we have one of the arms to the Nemesis Build-A-Figure. And we get this orange hose in there that's going to port into the arm, and then it's probably going to port into the torso somewhere. Just this rubber hose, and that's kind of cool there. So we'll stick this off to the side until we look at the Nemesis Build-A-Figure all together. But there is the XFactor Cyclops. Let's go ahead and zoom in and take a closer look at the figure. Okay, so here we have an up-close look at Cyclops, and as the name implies, single eye, this is a very Cyclops-looking Cyclops there. This is without the Optic blast effect ported into his head. As you can see, it just ports in there like so. I did it wrong. Ports in there like so. So it does need to go a certain way, so the smooth side is the bottom, the textured side go on top, and it just ports in there like so, and that's how we have it. This is kind of the screaming face. It's kind of creepy looking without that Optic blast in there, so I don't recommend that if you're not going to have the Optic blast in there. If you don't, then this is the head sculpt that you want to have, and I believe this one is actually new. The grin, it seems very signature Cyclops, I guess, but this is not a head sculpt that I had seen that we have gotten before, so it looks like it's going to be all new, which is really cool that we actually get that. So we have that there. The paint on here is pretty good. We get some fuzzy lines in some areas when it comes to the X, because the yellow is painted onto the blue. Wait, the yellow is painted. Oh, actually, you know what? I think the blue is painted onto the yellow, except on the shoulders and the butterfly joints, it's the yellow that's painted. So there's some sloppy areas, and you can kind of see the blue come through a little bit over the yellow. So it kind of sucks when they do that, because, you know, if we get yellow plastic into yellow paint, then it ends up looking a bit weird. But the blue paint into the blue plastic matches a whole lot better. So I wish it would have kind of been able to stuck with that, like in certain areas. But I get it, right? Because the yellow is much less than the blue, and then it's just kind of one of those things. And then actually, you know what? Here's an odd choice. Like, if the shoulder's going to be blue, why do the hinge yellow? That's weird, right? Because then, I mean, because of that, I guess. Yeah, I guess. But what's the trade-off? If that's blue in there, would that be as big a deal as that being yellow? I feel like that little bit being blue would have been okay versus that being yellow. But you guys give me your thoughts on that. Which one should it have been? Should it have been a blue hinge and then either no paint, or maybe they could add a little bit? Obviously, that would have been the best way, but Hasbro was never going to add paint into the hinge. I don't know how it should have been. The butterfly joint is in there. However, when you do that, it doesn't go back real far, but even then, they stop the paint. They should have continued more paint in that butterfly joint, because it is going to be exposed a little bit on how much it moves, so it would have been nice. Now here, you could also see where it stops. They should have just painted it more. So that's just a little unfortunate there. Looking at the back, nothing really going on there. The boots are yellow, but that is just, you know, the molded plastic there. So not a whole lot going on there. But that is our Cyclops. But let's go ahead and move on to check this Optic blast situation on how we can interchange them between some other Cyclops figures. Okay, so here's the deal. I was going to do some Optic blast swappages, and I pulled the Cyclops head right out of the neck. So I am super bummed about that. That really sucks. So here is the head. Here is the Xmen 97 blast, which is the same as the one that came with this one. That's how it ported on. That's how it looked. Just thin Optic blast, effective, looks good. This new one, Dan Yoon has said that yes, it does. However, it does not have a perfect fit. So there. It does work, but as you can see, it is not a clean, perfect fit. It also is very, like, not noticeable. So that works there. But I'm bummed that I broke that figure. Now, I do have another one of those on card because it was the retro wave. So at the end of the day, it's not a big deal because I still have a good Cyclops in package somewhere, but it's always a bummer to break a figure. Now, that figure is a bit old, so maybe I should have taken a little bit more care. I don't know. I just tried to pull it off like I typically do with head sculpts, and it broke. So I am bummed. I am pretty bummed, and it threw me all off. I was supposed to have this 97 Cyclops ready to go. I did not have it ready to go. Let's pop this head on there. Pop this head on there. Pop this head on there. So there. So we got our Xmen 97. We got the Optic blast ready. Head sculpt on there. Let's pop this on there and then see how that fits. This one is definitely ugly. While yes, it kind of works, that is a much uglier fit. Can I force it a little bit? Not really. Can I force it a bit? You can, but man, that is definitely and ugly connection and just really doesn't work. Now, however, if you're doing this, you can't really tell, right? If you do this, you can't really tell. You can't really tell. If you look at it there, you could tell, and it's not really good looking, but it works. So you have that benefit there. But man, I'm still bummed about my old XFactor Cyclops, even if it's just Bucky Cap and it's old, and we got a bunch of other new Cyclops figures that are much better. Again, still a bit of a bummer. Not gonna lie. Why does this feel like it doesn't want to fit now? That's weird. Maybe I just need to have it on the figure just so it's a little bit more sturdy, but there we go. The Optic Blast also comes in 2 different pieces, so you could also do something like this if you just kind of want that straight Optic Blast shot. You could do that, but again, if he's hitting something, this is how that blast should look. So it just pegs right on in there, so that works out quite nice. So there we go. Now let's go ahead and check out Cyclops' articulation. Okay, so I think I mentioned that the textured portion, the sculpted portion, should be the one that's on top. I guess it actually fits better when that is not the case on there. So if the textured part is on the bottom, so I guess depending on how you're doing. So if you're doing photo like that, you can actually see the lines in there as opposed to not. So I guess that is the more correct, accurate way to do it. Not sure how I got it wrong the other time, but it's definitely fitting on there a lot better this time around, because if I try to do it that way, it feels like it doesn't want to go in all the way, and I guess I messed that up earlier. So not like that. It goes like this there, because that ports in all the way. So there we go. I think I was moving too quickly. I even completely forgot to try this one, or did I try it and I'm just thrown off? I don't know, but it doesn't work, so I feel like that's news to me. So you can kind of rest it in there, but it will not stay. So the old Optic Blast will not stay in there. It just, nope, not gonna work. Okay, so Cyclops' articulation, it's the Vulcan body, so it is going to be pretty good. He can look up all the way, he can look down all the way. You get a full rotation in that neck. Any pivot? No pivot really going on. You get the arm to go straight on out like so. You get a full rotation in there. You got the butterfly joint, which is limited. Like there should be more room in there, but it just doesn't want to go. And then coming forward for some crossbody is a little bit, probably, not as much as we would like, but you can get some crossbody in there, which is good. You got the upper bicep swivel in there. You got a double jointed elbow, gives you that much bend. There you got wrists that swivel and hinge, standard horizontal hinge on all of the different hands that he comes with. The fist, the open right hand, and the pointed left hand. Ab crunch on him. You got an ab crunch forward that much there. You can go back that much there. You got a waist swivel in there. Legs go out that far apart. He can kick forward that far. The leg goes back ever so slightly. You got an upper thigh cut in there, double jointed knee, a little stiff on those knees, but they do bend quite nice. There you get a boot swivel. Look at that, first figure in the wave to have a boot swivel. Boot swivel there, foot hinges down all the way. You get hinge up a little bit, ankle pivot, peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So that is Cyclops again. Vulcan body, we know what to expect at this point. Vulcan has become the new Bucky Cap, and it is a good, solid body for sure. Not the best of side-by-side comparisons, when it comes to like the XFactor Cyclops on what I wanted to do, because you got 2 different designs for XFactor. But there is headless Cyclops, with the new XFactor Cyclops and the Xmen 97 Cyclops, because I just can't take out every other Cyclops figure that we've already gotten from Marvel Legends. But there we go. The Astonishing X-Men version, which is a very good Cyclops figure, is a smaller size one. They definitely undersized him a bit, so side-by-side comparison, he would definitely be shorter than the Vulcan body Cyclops, just so you guys are aware. Okay, so here we have the wave, the Nemesis Build-A-Figure wave. So far, we're at the first 4 figures. Next up is going to be Marrow, then Husk, then Fabian Cortez, and we will take a look at the Nemesis Build-A-Figure all together there. Solid wave, in my opinion. Cyclops is really good release. Wolverine is awesome. Nightcrawler, amazing. Gambit I really like. I see a lot of people not like the Gambit figure, and I guess it's kind of weird. I mean, he doesn't have a whole lot of detail, and there's no shading, no paint or anything like that, which Hasbro typically doesn't do to begin with anyway. I kind of like that Gambit figure. I think I like it more than other people definitely like it, but I'm a fan. But you guys let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, what you think of this Nemesis Build-A-Figure Wave? What do you think of this XFactor Cyclops? This Optic Blast effect is just super cool. I'm glad that we got something new. One thing that I think would have been cool is if they added a little bit of red paint inside of this visor here. That way you could just kind of use it if he's screaming and getting ready to blast. Use this Optic Blast, kind of like the Xmen 97 one did, right? They added some red paint on in there to kind of look like it's could be regular. That would have been a nice touch for sure, but you know what? We shall see. Well, you know what I would like to see is if they have these head sculpts now, could we get another X-Men in just the blue, all blue with the yellow tights version? Maybe in Xmen 97 Wave 3, we get that version of Cyclops. You know, at the final episode, you know, they all changed their uniforms. Maybe we'll see that. Maybe we'll not. But you know, who knows? But you guys give me your thoughts on this Optic Blast down in the comments below. Because again, I think it's awesome. I'm glad that we got something new. It's cool that we got that end piece there, so you could either do it with or without. And it just gives us that option and that opportunity to like blast somebody like crazy. So I really like it. It is really cool. Give me your thoughts down in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching. Make sure to check out toysnowman.com.